Hello and welcome to the ScatterVolt channel, and today this is my $900 gaming PC for 2016. Now note that I could have made a regular $900 gaming PC and have it just be regular, being in a mid tower, having it have a regular cooling setup and all that, but I wanted to spice a few things up and put it in a mini ITX form factor for you people who want to have a smaller gaming PC that'll save you space. So let's get into the build. If you want the absolute cheapest PC games on the internet with the largest discounts that even exceed those of Steam Summer Sale games, then make sure to check out g2a.com, and a link for that will be in the description down below. For the processor, we're going with the Intel Core i5-6600. This is a quad-core processor based off of the Skylake architecture that goes from 3.3 GHz all the way up to 3.9 GHz. Now, yes, this is the locked variant of the 6600, but I don't find that to be too huge of a deal if you're going to be using this gaming PC just for gaming. If you are going to throw in some editing, then I would recommend looking at the 6600K, since that does support overclocking, and overclocking does help tremendously in editing, but just for gaming, the 6600 will do perfectly fine. Now for the motherboard, we're going the Gigabyte GA H170N Wi-Fi Mini ITX motherboard. So this is one of the few high quality H170 series motherboards out there for the LGA 1151 socket, and I definitely went with this choice primarily because of its built-in Wi-Fi, which would be nice for many ITX systems that are going to be on the go a lot. But aside from that, this has all the great features of pretty much any gaming motherboard, as it has full SATA 6 gigabit support on all of its ports. It has a dedicated PCI 3.0 slot, which is the only slot on the motherboard, and finally this can support up to 32 gigabytes of RAM for a mini ITX motherboard. Now for the RAM, we're going the Crucial Ballistic Sport LT 8GB RAM kit. This is a dual channel DDR4 kit from Crucial that runs at 2400 MHz, and it'll do perfectly fine for this gaming PC since it is only 8 GB. But if you were going to upgrade to editing, as I said with the i5, I would look at 16 or 32 GB, but just for gaming, 8 GB is all we'll need, especially at a speed of 2400 MHz. Now for the hard drive, we're going the Western Digital Blue 1TB hard drive. This is a great gaming hard drive for pretty much any gamer out there who wants a cheap and effective storage solution for any gaming PC. This can support up to 1 TB of storage. This runs at a speed of 7200 RPM with this 64 MB cache on it, and really for its price, you really can't go wrong with it, especially for a storage solution for your gaming PC. Now for the graphics card, we're going with the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1070. This is a crazy fast gaming graphics card from Gigabyte that can run at amazing speeds, even up to GTX TitanFall performance, but for nearly less than half of its price. So this card can support up to 8 GB of RAM, and it can support some really extreme overclocks on the card so you can get the most performance out of it. And lastly, this is based off of the GP104 chipset, and it's definitely an excellent graphics card. And actually, I got the mini ITX version of it so it could fit inside of this case perfectly. Now for the case, we're going with personally one of my favorite cases, the Fantech Enthoo Evolve Mini ITX case. This is one of the best looking mini ITX cases out there in my opinion, since it is in the tower style of a PC case, but it's in a much smaller form factor. It actually has some really good features in it, like some really high-end Fantech features in it, but for a much cheaper price. So for example, this has a PSU shroud to hide your PSU and your hard drives. This has an amazing build quality on it that is very rigid and very solid. This has some amazing cable threading and actually can support full out water cooling if you wanted to pull off a custom loop inside of this case. And of course, for being a Fantech case, this is always raved on by reviewers since they are just so good cases in general. Now finally, for the power supply, we're going with the EVGA 600B 600 watt power supply. This can support up to 600 watts and is rated at the 80+ bronze efficiency rating, and I mean for this build, this is all we're gonna need. It's gonna support up to 600 watts, which is more than enough for this system, including overclocking that GTX 1070. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and all that, and this is the ScatterVolt channel signing out.